Sì. MSRP on Rogue and Pathfinder, so you can get the car you want at the price you want at the Nissan Summer Sales Event.
Guys, this second live ever. I apologize if I seem like a bit of a newbie. That's because I am when it comes to lives. Just figured out on this one that I can do this whole thing horizontal instead of straight up and down, which is pretty cool. Uh, the straight up and down live was, well, the last one did pretty good, but on this one, I thought, man, there's got to be a way I can do that in landscape as opposed to just doing it up and down like a shorts. So, but yeah, I'm in here today just introducing myself. My name is Casey. I run the String Pickers channel here on YouTube, a relatively small channel. I think I've only got like 120 subscribers. But I do a lot of gear talk, gear mods, gear reviews. We demo a lot of products. Um, here when I say we, it's usually me and one of my animals or something that happens to walk in here. But yeah, for the most part, that's what it is. So, if you guys, well, the one person that's in here, if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Well, not to mention there's a little bit of humor to things too, because uh, it's like I always say, if you're not smiling, it's got to be a bad day, and nobody likes to be dealing with a bad day. But yeah, we're just here talking about gear stuff and just chatting. This playing through my Ibanez. This is red. This is for obvious reasons. Red is the name as well as the color. Flame maple top Ibanez. Had this guitar for, I guess, it's been probably 15 years, I guess. Still working just fine. If one of y'all could do me a favor, because I'm not sure. I know I've got it pulled up behind me on the laptop and I could read comments that way. But somebody just drop like an emoji or it's, the sound, let me know it's working and all that. And in landscape mode, I'm not sure how this is going to show up on the screen here on, because I'm filming this with my iPhone. Who doesn't these days? But yeah, if somebody could just do like an it's working thing or something, maybe I could see it on the screen. And I know that I could probably see it on the laptop, but there's a little bit of latency between here and the laptop, though. Yeah, we be jamming. Um, well, still got one viewer, so I'm doing good. My first video I was on for, oh, well, not the first video, the first live I was on for probably about an hour. Done pretty good for an hour. Had a lot of views on that one. Met a couple of interesting people, which was awesome. I dig that. I'm always one for meeting people. I think everyone has a story to tell, and I'm always up for that story. Plus the fact that you get to know people, uh, sometimes different cultures, different backgrounds, stuff like that. again. I will introduce myself. For those of you new that are in here, my name is Casey. I am the String Pickers channel. That's basically the channel that I run on YouTube. We do gear talk, music in general. It doesn't matter. Well, there is a story behind that. If you're talking about this amplifier behind me, uh, I've never put any tubes in that amplifier. And I'll tell you the reason why. Because I've only owned the Carvin X100B for about a year. And so basically, what it comes down to is this. I found that amp at a yard sale. I've always dreamed about owning that amp. And I don't know if you were in the last live stream that I talked about. I know you were there, but I don't know if we talked about this or not. But yeah, dude had that amplifier sitting out at the yard sale. He buys out storage units, and so I know the guy. He lives about 25 miles away, and I seen the cab sitting out in this yard sale that he was having. So I stopped by there, and I was like, I'm going to check this out. Those, you never know what they're asking for something. And the first thing he says, I don't know anything about that. I don't even know if it works. Of course, anybody that looks at it can pretty much tell, what it's going to be worth. And so he says, well, I've got the head to it. And I said, no, you do not. And he says, yeah. And he said, I don't even know if it works. And so he shot me a price, and I was like, that's a little expensive, for something we don't even know if it works. And he says, well, how about $60? So I bought that head and the matching cab. It's a 1983 Carvin X100B and the cab for $60. And I took it to my amp tech because I didn't really have a lot of time to go through it myself at the time. So I took it to my amp tech, and I was like, you know what? Do your magic. And I said, I looked at the tubes. The tubes look brand new, which tells me that whatever storage unit this was in, the owner that rented that unit had gotten the noise from this thing, because it powered up as soon as I got it home. The red light came on, but it was real bad. And I knew at that point that it was capacitors. So I was like, well, it's capacitors. All the tubes were lighting up. Well, then I wiped off the tubes and with a cloth and went around inside looking at everything. And once I looked at everything and I looked at the tubes, I looked at the tubes and I was like, holy crap, this thing is new. And these tubes look just brand new. So anyway, I took it to my amp tech, and my amp tech says, yeah, it's capacitors, and he says, so I'm going to do your capacitors. I'm going to replace some or resolder some broken joints and put you a new pigtail on it. And I was like, great, do your thing. And he did. And so now I have this amp I wanted ever since I was a teenager, and seen one with Steve Vai posted next to it. And I wanted that amp, and but they were $2,500 in the '80s, and so I bought mine for $60, and plus the cost of the cap job and stuff, which was about 200, I think, is $260 is what I got invested into an amp that I could probably sell for $2,000, but I ain't selling it. It's still running off the tubes I got it in. Yeah, you're right, Malone. It is a great deal. I couldn't pass that up. That was, I'm not a lucky person by no means, but that I was extremely lucky on that one. And so yeah, I'm keeping that. I've got a video telling the story about that amp, and I don't know. There's a lot of videos where I play through that amp, but I have the Headrush Flex Prime pedal that I was talking about in the last video, but I need to get that box, that load box, so I can clone that thing. That way, anybody, any head rush owners out there would be able to, experience something close to that. But yeah, man, I get it. It's like it goes from 1 to 10 on the volume, and I just run it on the clean channel and then do the distortion everywhere else through pedals and stuff. And it's set on like 0.5. It's not even 2.1. It's like at 0.5, and monitor volumes with the head rush, and I can turn the volume all the way up on the head rush, and it'll run people out of my house. It's insanely loud. Of course, oh, by the way, I've been watching some of your bass videos. Very cool, man. I'm gonna get into some of your series because I just picked up bass like a year ago, and I've been trying to learn some stuff. Yeah, Fender Basement's where it's at, and they did, and Carvin did. They made some really good stuff back in the day. You was talking about your amp. Um the amp that I'm running through is a Fender 100 watt Rumble that I run my bass through, which is really loud and that thing is relatively big, but it only weighs like 26 pounds, which is odd to me. But I want either the Fender Bassman or a Ampeg. Either one of those, I would like to have those, but that that's the Rumble right there, and that's a little bass pedal board I've got on top. Um, but now I run the bass through the headrush too because it's got some really good bass rigs on it. And that little purple stomp box over there is a Leo James IR box. It has 36 built-in IR cabs, so I can change the sound of the Fender Rumble to sound like, uh, yeah, the SVT, brother. That's what I'm talking about. But the IR cabs in that pedal are remarkably similar, and it has the Ampeg SVT IR built into that little pedal. I think I give like $37 for that thing. It was crazy. But it has 36, and there's like 26, 27 of them are guitar cabs. Yeah, Carvin is, man, I hated that they sold out to Kiesel. Uh, I always liked Carvin. I would never, in my other dream was having one of the old Carvin guitars. Uh, but yeah, the IR box, there was like, yeah, yeah, I know. Yeah, I forgot that you was playing through the HX Stomp. But the IR box for that little pedal board is perfect for that because, one of the 10 bass IRs it has built into that little thing is the Ampeg SVT. It's got several other ones in there that I'm not even, like I said, I've only been playing bass for about a year. I'm primarily a guitar player. But I started recording, just little projects to help me write better music. And when you do that through a DAW, the drums that you get, they are good. You can program your drums in there and they sound really good. But when you try to use samples of the bass in there, they're just horrible. So I bought a bass and as a matter of fact, let me get that real quick. I showed you this one the last time. I'll show you this other one. Yeah, that's the thing. Your tutorials, I've been watching those, and I think that I can do. I know where the notes are and stuff, but uh, my thing is, like I read music. Yeah, I want a car and guitar, but you know, I'm just a broke redneck hillbilly, so I have to do with what I have to do with. Um, but yeah, I'm trying. I can read music, and I can read music with songs in it for the bass, guitar, stuff like that, and learn that way and practice that way. And but I've not put as much time into bass as I do guitar because, like I say, I'm primarily a guitar player, but I am still learning. So your videos are going to help out. But in the last video, this was the first bass that I got. This is an Ibanez TMB 100. Yeah, I feel you on that. I struggle to well on guitar. It's not bad, but I wouldn't even know where to begin to teach on the bass. But yeah, this is Ibanez TMV 100, and very cool bass for what I put into it. It's active, and this thing is. I mean, and the I always mod everything. I always change something, and I wanted to change something with this bass, but I just couldn't. It's got those open back tuners, but these things do not drop tuning at all. And I beat the soup out of this thing. I have put it through the work. It's PJ configuration. And yeah, me too. Their necks are the bomb. Uh, and then, of course, it's got the stack knobs on it. So you got your volume here, and you can switch blend between the precision and the jazz pickups. You can blend between the two at any range. You can do 10% jazz, 90% precision, vice versa, anywhere in between. And then you got your treble on the top back here and your bass on the bottom back here. And I love this bass. I give $150 for this thing. Some guy had bought it and had it about 3 weeks. When I got it, it was brand new. And he had it about 3 weeks and then bought a Fender P bass. And that's what he played. He gigged with, and he just didn't touch this. Yeah, I seen yours. It's a nice one. And I don't have nothing against Fender P basses. They're awesome. But he just didn't use this one as much. And I was like, look, dude, I just need something to write bass lines with. I wasn't expecting a lot. I knew it was Ibanez. I wasn't expecting a whole lot. Didn't even really do much research. I just knew that it was basically new. So I brought it home. And man, this thing surprises me every time I pick it up. I've had it tuned anywhere from standard down to drop C. And I play it through my head rush, which has a bunch of amp, bass amps, cabs, IRs, clones of different. It's got a whole lot more than that little IR box, but it sounds so amazing. Uh, I might be able to get. I might be able to get. Do a little demo of it real quick. Hang on just 1 second. Now, only thing that I did mod on this was I put strap locks on it, and this strap that has kind of a grippy back because the body is pretty thin, so it's got some neck dive to it, which most full scale basses do anyway. And so, but this allows me to let it go and it doesn't want to, drop over. Okay, now this is a blend between this is about 40% precision, about 60% jazz pickup, and the bass is up about halfway, and the treble is up all the way with the volume all the way. Well, messed up. Hang on. But yeah, it's just a killer bass. Uh, I love this thing. But yeah, it's definitely worth $150. I can say that. Yeah, I do a lot of. I play a lot of metal, hard rock. Yeah, I play a lot of metal and hard rock. And stealth guitar was in here, and I didn't even realize it. Uh, what's up, brother? If you go back and watch this again, apologize for missing your comments. Um, but yeah, uh, I do. I guess when I started out playing thrash and metal and everything because I was new to guitar and that's what I liked at the time. And then I figured out down the road that you can't call yourself a musician unless you have respect for all forms of music. Had a very, very wise man tell me that. I had two influences in my life, and that was Eddie Van Halen, of course, and a guy that lived close to me who played guitar. And he taught me that I have to respect all forms of music for what they are and the complexity behind them. So I started through the years listening to everything. So I'm liable to play country, blues, jazz, rock, punk, whatever. And I'm not really voiced in jazz or anything on guitar, but I do respect that form of music for what it is. And so I do on the bass so far has been played a uh, few country songs on the bass, a lot of hard rock and metal. So yeah, I do a little bit of everything, but this thing loves hard rock and metal. I mean, when you tune this down to drop C and play this thing, as a matter of fact, I have a video that is scheduled to come out, I think next Thursday. It might be, or it may be after that. I'm not sure. I upload on Mondays and Thursdays. Yeah, yeah, I feel you. That's respect for all forms of music. But I have one where I open to an instrumental of 3 Days Grace song "Let You Down," and this bass is what I was showcasing in that video because I had someone else ask me about this bass. They was watching an old video of mine and seen this bass in the background and just absolutely loved it. And so in that video, I mentioned their name. I can't remember what it was, Mr. Monster or something like that. And so anyway, I showcased this and I opened the pick guard up and looked under the hood because I never done that to this guitar. Like I said, the only mods that I've made has been putting strap locks on it, and that's it. But I started out that video playing that song, and this was tuned to C to the same effect that I'm using now, and it's just, this thing just rocks. It loves hard rock and metal. Now I have played some blues on it. It does really good with blues as well. So well, I just got the round wound on it. I put the this one I'd love to put flat wound strings on this, and I think I will. When I got into this, I didn't know a whole lot about all of that. So basically, yeah, that's Thumper. That's what I call it. That's what I call it. I named it Thumper. And my other bass, the 5 string that I showcased the other day, it's got flat wound Diodarios on it. Man, those things are expensive. It's like 50 bucks for a set of those. These were Ernie Balls, and put these on here, and they were round wound. But now I kind of wish that I had gotten flat wound to take some of the scratchiness out of playing. But it just the same though. It's a nice guitar. I play the crap out of that thing. Uh, and of course this other one I do when fretless is applied, to a song or something. If I'm playing along with a song, but if I'm just playing myself, then I just practice with it, my slides and stuff. Then one thing that I had to get used to, which was really weird, was no frets, and there are a lot. Okay, for instance, the Fender P bass. I've seen fretless Fender P basses that have where the frets were, the fret lines. And I knew that on fretless, you can't play behind the line like you do on a fretted one. You have to play on the line for it to be to pitch. This one didn't have that. And all it had was dots on the side. And so I've had to, by ear, train myself to listen for the note to know that it's in perfect pitch, that it's right where it needs to be and not flat or sharp. And that was a journey with that. That was a huge journey with that. So, but yeah, I love it too. Fretless is amazing. It's taught me a lot. That bass there taught me a whole lot. I used to say bass guitar was for people that just couldn't hang playing regular guitar. You know, they couldn't handle yeah, it does. They couldn't handle, you know, playing six strings, so they only played four, you know, and all this stuff. I used to make jokes about that all the time, you know, back when I was a young man. Boy, was I wrong. I'm telling you, bass has taught me to keep my mouth shut. That is for sure. Because I got into that and I was like, holy crap, you know. I've watched people play bass and everything, and I'm like, you're just plucking a note at a time. And then you start looking at YouTube videos and all these, like Charles Bertu. That dude is amazing. I love watching his stuff. And all of these bass players out there that are just awesome. They're just completely awesome. Uh, but yeah, thought I'd come on a little bit today and talk to a few of you in here. Got some upcoming videos. I don't know if you guys want to check them out or not. Got another amplifier uh, that I've done a that ain't that. Yeah, he is. He's the man. Don't you love having to take your glasses off to see? Mercy. Tennessee allergies, baby, ain't nothing like them. But yeah, I got some upcoming videos. I've got a Black Star amplifier. Swore myself off of them years ago. Completely in love with them again. I got the ID Core 100 watt stereo. Absolutely amazing guitar amplifier. It's completely awesome. Got some other videos coming up. I think my next one coming out on Monday, or no, that was the last one. I just done one with downloading Headrush Cloud features, IR boxes, clones, stuff like that. Got one with this little guy coming up, the Valaton GP100 little unit here. I've never done one with this, but I've had it for a long time, and I ended up giving it to my son. And this thing was, I don't know, I just didn't, I didn't jive with it. Malone, you know, brother, we have to bond with it, or it's gone after a while. And I just couldn't bond with this thing. And it's really cool though. But a lot of it was as I was playing through a Fender Ultimate Chorus amplifier, and this thing just sounded like garbage through that amplifier. So I give it to my son, and he never used it. He just put it up, and he ended up bringing it back to me a few days ago. He's had it for, I guess, about 3, 4 years. And when he brought it back, I hooked it up to the old Carvin X100B, and boy, she don't sound like garbage no more. This thing is actually pretty awesome. It just kind of blew me away how versatile this thing was and how much you could do with each effect. And so got a little review demo of this coming up. Couple more things coming in. I got some studio lights coming in to help boost the lighting in here a little bit. Obscene studios can be obscenely dark from time to time. So, but yeah, yeah, that's you know what? I'm gonna make some shirts that say that has guitars and amplifiers and stuff, and say it's gone if it don't bond. You know, and that'll be a cool shirt. I don't think nobody's got that shirt out yet. So and I'm not even close to merch, but if you are, then you might want to jump on that one. That's pretty cool. I'd buy a shirt like that. Uh, but yeah, so as of everything going on here, that's pretty much it. I've got several videos coming up. Think maybe my next video is a Fender Squire that I give a little spa day to, and yeah, I'm telling you, dude, I'd buy it in a heartbeat. I would. If you did merch and had that put on a shirt, I'd buy it in a heartbeat. But yeah, anyways, that's stuff that I've got coming up in the future. I'm just trying to hang in there. I do this as a hobby. I'm not really looking to get 15 million subscribers, although that would be nice, but I feel like that it would be awful stressful too, trying to keep up with the Joneses and stuff. But I enjoy my YouTube journey, and I like being a part of this community with you guys, especially people like you, Malone. Your videos I get a lot out of. There's other people out there that's that I follow. If you don't, let me hand you over to a few. There is Tone Yeager, which is TonJaegerGer, I think. It's kind of spelled, like the German version, I guess. His name is Brant. He does a lot of guitar stuff. Um, but let's see. There's Ted Talks Guitars and Life. Um, he's pretty cool dude. I really think a lot of Ted. He does a lot of videos, fixes on guitars and stuff. The Stealth Guitar that was just in here earlier. He's pretty cool dude. You need to subscribe to him. I watch a lot of his stuff too. He's watches a lot of. We all interact with each other and things. They don't really know that I'm doing live streams now, so I'm just kind of doing these as a test to see how they're turning out. And everything. And I've got a lot to do to make these better, so that's coming up in the future. But let's see, there's BCG 5150 guitars. He's pretty cool dude. There's Cal B and Rocco the Cat. He's pretty cool dude. He does stuff. A lot of these channels are kind of like me. They do a lot of gear reviews, modifications, stuff like that. So, and when I get back into um, usually if you go to one of their live streams and they have like 20, 30, 40 something people in there or whatever, usually they have their mods to put your links out there so the moderators can suggest you, and then everybody in that live stream will subscribe to you to help support. That's where a lot of my subscribers come from. Like I said, I started this as a hobby about 8 months ago, and I was just doing it to be doing it. I'm disabled. My back's gone, and my health is just not the best. So I started doing this to keep from falling into some kind of clinical depression. But if you play an instrument, depression's kind of out the window, because usually if you feel bad or feel good or sad or angry or whatever, you can just play it out on an instrument. And that's what I tell all of my students. I say, hey, I'm not teaching you how to be a rock star. I'm teaching you how to cope with adult life. And that's what it does for me. So, but guys, I think I'll end it there. I really appreciate everybody coming in and commenting and stuff. Malone, especially you. I love the conversations. You're going to be a big help to my bass journey and everything, and to everybody else that came in and just lurked. To be lurking, keep lurking. It's working. Guys, I'm going to go. As always, I always say, I hope that you and yours are having the best day ever. I hope you're insanely blessed. And I pray that God be with you all. Later.